This is an explanation of proportionate share and how it works in a little bit better animated fashion. It's essentially, the principle behind it is that whatever the development adds to the road, it would help pay for a portion of adding its new capacity. And let me show you how that works. We're going to use a simple table calculation here. These tables here are not the latest, but it will serve the purpose pretty well in the explanation. In this case, we will be using what used to be called a Class 2 signalized at-grade arterial, and we're using the hourly directional tables. Okay, so this is the direction of vehicles moving only in one direction. And let me also point out that now that I've expanded that class Roman numeral 2 highway, which is from 2 to 4.5 signalized intersections per mile, we don't use that classification anymore. We call them something different, and we use the speed limit. But again, the concept is still the same. And also, let me point out that in the table for the directional, in this set of tables, one lane really means a 2-lane roadway. 2-lane really means a 4-lane roadway, because we are going in one direction. And these numbers are the maximum service volumes in one direction during the peak hour. Okay, now let's take a look here. We're going to use a 4-lane divided class Roman numeral roadway as our case study here. And you can see it's a, we're going to say that the maximum minimum level of service for that will be a level of service D, which is 1,710. To see how the tables work, theoretically, if you went to 1,711, it would be a Class E, and therefore break the level of service standard that we wanted for that road. Let's take Deerwood Avenue as an example here. We're going to assume, for simplification, that the current Deerwood Avenue as a 4-lane is already at the maximum level of service volume of, if you remember, the 1,720. And this development is going to add 300 peak hour directional trips to that same segment, and it will cause that road to fail and go below level of service D. Okay. My mistake, if you remember, the maximum service volume for level of service D for 4-lane divided class Roman numeral 2 is 1,710 and not what I said before. All right, so what you have here is that you need to maintain the level of service D, you have to go from 4 to 6 lanes. Okay. When you improve that roadway, the maximum service volume at level of service D goes from 1710 to 2570. And what is the difference of that? It is an increase of the service volume of 860 vehicles in one direction during the peak hour. Now, the development only added 300 trips, and we went from a 1710 maximum service volume to a 570. Remember, we said that's 860 extra capacity that would be added by adding two new lanes from a 4-lane to a 6-lane. Okay, but a development in question only added 300 trips, and the added service volume was 860, which equals 35%, and that would be the proportionate fair share for that developer. Now, if the improvement was a $1 million improvement, then you would multiply that $1 million by 35%, equaling $350,000. And that is a quick example of how this proportionate share is used.